Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a truly fascinating historical journey into the foundations of the human mind. We're drawing directly from the Xylem Teaching Exams notes on adolescent psychology. Whether you're studying for your exams right now or you're just, naturally curious about how we actually understand ourselves, we are going to break down this amazing syllabus step by step.
Okay, let's dive into this. When we talk about studying the human mind, what exactly are we looking at? Are we measuring the physical brain? Are we searching for some invisible soul? Or are we just looking at how you behave when someone cuts you off in traffic? It's a massive question. To answer that, here is our agenda for today. First, defining the human mind. Second, the 4 phases of its evolution. And third, the branches of modern psychology.
Section 1, Defining the Human Mind. Etymology and Early Meanings. Let's move to this and see how it builds. If we look at the very root of the word itself, psychology is actually made up of 2 ancient Greek words. You've got psyche, which means soul, and logos, meaning science. So quite literally, its earliest meaning was the science of the soul. But while the modern textbook definition has expanded quite a bit since then, today the notes define psychology as the study of an organism's thoughts, feelings, and behavior, and crucially, how all these processes are influenced by their environment, as well as their physical and mental states. Now, here is a really surprising historical fact, straight from our notes. It states that the word psychology was actually used for the first time by a German scholastic philosopher named Rudolf Gockel in the year 1950. A scholastic philosopher in the mid-20th century? Honestly, it's fascinating and kind of surprising, right? To pinpoint the exact figures and moments that cement the everyday terminology we use. Now, what's really interesting about this is how J.B. Watson's punchy, direct definition, he called it the positive science of behavior, contrasts so sharply with the other major thinkers. Watson zeroes in strictly on behavior, period. But the others, they cast a much wider net. Skinner looks at experiences, Woodworth focuses on the environment, and Crow emphasize human relationships. Everyone brings a slightly different flavor to the exact same discipline. Section 2. 4 phases of evolution. A historical journey. Think of those earlier definitions as the roots. And right now, we are moving straight into the trunk of our metaphorical tree. We are going on a fast-paced time travel journey here. This timeline maps an absolutely incredible shift in human thought. Starting off in phase 1, ancient Greek thinkers like Democritus, Plato, and Aristotle viewed psychology entirely as the science of the soul. They were studying its nature, its origin, its destiny. Then we hit phase 2 with philosophers like Descartes, Kant, and Locke. They shifted the focus to the science of mind, trying to explain things through mental activities. Fast forward to the late 19th century, and we enter phase 3. Psychologists like William James and Wilhelm Wundt realized the sheer importance of sensory experiences, redefining the whole field as the science of consciousness. And finally, in the early 20th century, we arrive at phase 4. Thinkers like Watson, Skinner, and Tolman decided, you know what? Only observable actions matter, cementing psychology as the science of behavior. And this brilliantly illustrates the dramatic contrast between where we started and where we ended up. We went from phase 1, the science of the soul, which was completely focused on the unobservable origin and destiny of the human spirit, all the way over to phase 4, the science of behavior. And that relies entirely on concrete, observable, and measurable actions. It's a total shift from the philosophical to the physical. And the guy leading the charge into that purely physical, observable realm, that was J.B. Watson. The notes specifically highlight him as the father of behavioralism. He played an absolutely pivotal role in stripping away all those unobservable elements and ensuring that psychology emerged in the 20th century as a strict, objective science of behavior. A real game changer. Section 3. Branches of modern psychology. Pure versus applied sciences. We're moving up into the canopy of our tree now to see how this evolved science is structured in the modern world. Understanding this structure really comes down to the divide between pure and applied psychology. Pure psychology is all about the groundwork. It formulates the broad principles, brings out the theories, and suggests the methods and techniques. But applied psychology takes all of those theories and puts them to work to solve actual real-life situations and everyday human problems. So the crucial point is understanding the difference between the theorists who build the foundation and the practitioners who actually use it to help people. Let's rapidly fire through these theoretical branches.
In the realm of pure psychology, we literally cover the entire human experience. General psychology looks at the normal adult mind, while abnormal focuses on mental disorders. We track human lifespans in developmental psychology, how we interact in social psychology, and how we think and remember in cognitive psychology. We even leave a little room for the unexplained with parapsychology. Okay, so how does theory actually become practice? Well, through applied psychology. This is where educational theories enter the classroom, and clinical principles help treat patients. It's about optimizing the workplace with industrial psychology, bringing behavioral science into the courtroom with forensic psychology, and even shaping national defense and governance through military and political psychology. They are literally taking the abstract and making it incredibly tangible. Which brings us to the ultimate question for the rest of this syllabus. We've traced psychology all the way from the ancient Greek soul down to modern behavioral science. But how do we apply these foundational theories to the chaotic, rapid development of a teenager? How do we deal with identity crises, peer pressure, and massive cognitive leaps? As we move forward in the notes, we'll be looking at Piaget and Freud's developmental theories, tackling delinquency and substance abuse. So ask yourself, knowing what you know now about how psychology observes behavior, how would you go about decoding the adolescent mind? I hope this explainer has given you a rock-solid foundation, and I absolutely cannot wait for you to explore what's next.